Goes around the shield, is that right?
You got a shield, hold him shield,
Yeah.
and you gotta go close up, and he hit him with this one.
Hit him with that one. So go around the shield, catch him in the arm.
Yeah. Just grab him there. Really. See, it's done.
Done.
Too
Beautiful. Pleasure. Nice to do it with you.
Jabal Jari.
Jabal Jari.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, we're piecing together an attitude, a way of looking at the world. But there's a fragility to this way of life. The knowledge needs to be protected. A few hours down the road lives Peter Latz. He's catalogued this plant knowledge in what many consider to be the best guide to Aboriginal plant use, the book Bushfires and Bush Tucker.
So what was it initially that drew you to study bush foods and the Aboriginal use of the plants?
Well, I saw what was happening in other parts of Australia where this knowledge was getting lost. And, you know, I love my desert people and I wanted to make sure that their knowledge didn't go the same way. So I hurriedly went around and tried to get it all down so that it's there forever.
Peter, one of the things that we're really interested in is bush tucker and the way they interacted with plants here. Can you tell me something about that?
Plants were the fallback thing. Like everyone loved meat and, you know, kangaroos and so on. But plants were much more reliable. But hell, you had to have a damn good idea of the country and what was where, when. It required a tremendous amount of knowledge of the land.
When you wrote your book, were there any great surprises in terms of things you hadn't encountered before with your own experience with the same people?
Oh yeah. If you go out with them and they show you things, and it looks damn easy and straightforward, but you try and do it yourself,
yes,
and you realise, and I've tried to do that, I've gone out and tried to live out in bush by myself, and I soon come back begging for knowledge from the old people, and they say, oh, just do this. I mean, the prime example was this bean in a long pod, you know, and they said you can eat that when it's at the right stage, just like peas. So I tried to eat it like peas, you know, pull it open, and of course it wouldn't pull open, and it had bitter juice on the outside of the pod. So eventually when I managed to get the seed out, it tasted awful. And so I went back to them, I said, oh, you told me you could eat this, and they said, oh, like that Spinifex, throw the beans on it, and then it easily comes apart, dries up the bitter juices, and
of course,
it adds lovely smoke flavour. They didn't just survive. I mean, I could probably go out there and survive somehow or another, but they could have elaborate ceremonies that went on for months and months. I tell Aborigines, you know, what you have to recognise with white people is that they walk around the bush, they're practically blind, they're practically deaf, and they can't smell, you know, so you've got to show them every little thing.
As the sun sets, back in camp, a privilege awaits us. A glimpse of the sort of ceremony Peter was talking about. We're being shown a number of tribal dances relating to bush food. This is the dance of the bush potato, which mirrors the action we saw earlier when they were dug up. This is the dance of the blue-tongued lizard. It's Noreen who describes what's going on to us.
We set up from our camp. We went out hunting. Started hunting around for little lizards, blue dunks. Put it in a little food carrier. Then we sat down and started cooking blue dunks.
And when you dance that dance, what does that mean? You're doing more than dancing, aren't you?
But that was my grandfather's, my mother and uncle's dreaming what we were dancing today.
So there's a religious significance to
Yep.
the dance.
Dreaming is a Western word. I find it very unsatisfactory. It's used to describe something that is more felt than spoken, a connection each person has to a particular part of nature. It's the way Aboriginals guarantee the continuity of their culture by taking responsibility for a particular resource and passing it on to the next generation. Dances like this have religious significance and cannot be performed on a whim.
When tourists comes around, we have to get a permission from elders first, and they'll say yes. Because we don't want to just go and then do the dancing without it, you know? Without no permission. They'll get angry with us, the elders. Yeah, we could have a respect for the elders to do the right way.
Not just the elders, maybe respect for your ancestors as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Amazing dancing, wasn't it?
That was absolutely fantastic.
What I think is really interesting is how even such mundane, seemingly mundane tasks as digging up a sweet potato and collecting fruit
Yes,
are embodied in significant dances.
yes.
I wonder if back in Britain we had the dance of the burdock, or the crabapple, or the hawthorn berry.
Yes, I think these are real possibilities.
What I think is interesting though is that this is a culture that has survived, some people say 60,000 years.
Yes.
So some of these stories may have been already in circulation at the time when our hunter-gatherers were active, and maybe been told already for thousands of years.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been fabulous to remind myself of the strength of this culture. But of course the desert is very different from any environment in Britain, and tomorrow it's time to leave. We're off to see plants that are more directly relevant to those we'll find back home. We're heading north to the top end, Arnhem Land. Arnhem Land is one of the largest indigenous areas anywhere in the world. Almost half the size of Britain, you can only enter it by special arrangement. The road into Arnhem Land has improved dramatically since I first came here, but it's still a long and difficult drive for me and Gordon. Ramanginning, our destination, is a whole day's drive, and what a drive.
Well, Gordon, I don't think we've got much time to get camp up. Sun's sinking fast. If you crack the firewood, I'll get the camp set up.
Long day.
Very long day.
Dusty day.
But it's worth the little effort at the end of it. You know, I always, when I get to the end of the day like this, I just don't feel like putting the camp up. But, you know, we pushed hard for 20 minutes, and we don't have to do it